Welcome to the Treehouse Show podcast, your weekly dose of tech and all things Team Treehouse. All right, welcome to today's episode. It is the third episode of the Treehouse Show podcast. You have me, your host, Dustin, and our lovely co-host, Laura.
What up?
And Laura has a rant. She told me before the show she had something she wanted to rant about. So before we get into today's episode, I am very curious, what is on your mind right now?
So this morning, I had to go to the DMV. But thankfully, it was the quickest DMV trip I ever made. I had an appointment. I got there at 8 and I left like at 8:30. And I got everything done, which is a miracle. But that is not my rant. That is my bright side. My rant is, so I grew up in New York. And in New York, the driver's license has typical information like your height, the color of your hair, the color of your eyes, general information. But since leaving New York, every other state I lived in has asked for my weight and has displayed it on my driver's license. So when I moved to California, I was shocked they asked me for my weight. And I was like, what? So I did what everyone does and subtracts 5, maybe 10 pounds because, you have ambition.
That's what you do. That's the unwritten rule.
Of course, you have to lie. And then sign something saying, I did not lie. But yeah, and also, so I thought it was just a California thing, but now I live in Colorado. But no, Colorado asked for my weight again. And when I first saw it in California, I was worried I'm going to go to the DMV and they're going to bring out a scale and actually make sure you're telling the truth. But I guess I shouldn't have thought of that because they don't do that when they ask you for your height. They just believe you. But yeah, that's my little rant. I don't understand why you have to put a weight. That doesn't make sense.
That's so weird because I've never not noticed that they don't ask you. I've lived in 2 states my whole life. I've lived in Louisiana and Texas, and I've always been asked my weight for my driver's license. Like, that's just a normal thing. So me hearing that they didn't ask you in New York is news to me. I didn't know.
Maybe it's an East
that was just
Coast
something.
thing.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's just a few states. Let us know if you're listening. Come hang out with us in Discord. Shameless plug, but come let us know. What does your state ask for your weight on your driver's license, or is it literally just, or country too? Yeah. Everyone has driver's license. That's your rant. That's cool. That's a valid rant for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
I really thought you were about to tell me something bad about the DMV because you never have a good experience at the DMV. So, I mean, at least you can say your experience wasn't bad. So
yeah. I'm glad it wasn't like the same experience from Zootopia. If you've watched that movie, you know the sloth at the DMV.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. All right, so let's get into today's show. I do believe Laura wants to talk to us a little bit about what we've released this month, in the month of February, and what's to come in the month of March. So since Laura is our content manager, she has all the good news about this stuff. So Laura, take it away.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So we'll start with what's new content-wise, because that's what I feel like our website's mostly about. So on February 7th, we added 2 new videos to an existing course. So if you haven't taken it, it's the 5-step career checklist course. It's by our community manager and career advisor, Genevieve Dance. So this course was designed to guide you through the process of building essential skills and increasing your employability. And one thing a lot of people have been asking for was more videos about portfolios. So we listened to y'all and we added 2 new videos to step 4, which is all about building your professional portfolio. And on top of that, not just talking about what a portfolio is, why it's important, and what you should have in your portfolio. In the teacher's notes of one of those videos, we actually have links to workshops that you can follow along and code along and come out with your own portfolio. So I think we're going to have 3 eventually. So one of them that's already out is building a portfolio with HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. And another one that was just released also in February is create a portfolio using React. So our student success specialist, Rohald, creates a portfolio using React. We're going to publish another course where you create a portfolio using Python and Flask. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we're trying to get as many languages. Right now we're starting with those because those are our most popular ones. If you're listening and there's another language that you prefer, let us know and maybe we'll make a portfolio, a workshop using that language.
Super excited to hear about that because I know a lot of students have been asking us for portfolio content. And not only did we deliver, but we're delivering multiple languages with that. So very excited on that. It's good news. Good news to hear for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad because I know there are some people on our Discord asking, like, hey, what portfolio content do you have? And I felt bad and I was just like, nothing yet, but stay tuned, please. Because we were actively working on it because there's been people asking for it. And of course, portfolios are one of the best ways to get a job. I think that's how you got your last job before Treehouse, was because they liked your
Yes.
portfolio.
Yeah, I actually didn't have much time to build it, but I built out a super simple one and I threw it up. And I remember during one of my interviews with my first employer, I asked him, I was like, hey, so what like made me stand out? And he's like, honestly, man, it was your portfolio. And I was like, it was very simple though. He's like, that's what we were trying to accomplish at that company was they wanted everything to be very simple for the users. Simplicity is very tough. It's not easy. It's not easy to get everything you need on the screen in a simple way. But I did a good job with it apparently, and I got hired for my portfolio. So portfolios are absolutely key if you're looking for a job. It's a great way to show off who you are and what you can offer.
And I think that's also great to point out that you got hired because of how simple it was. I feel like whenever I think of a portfolio, I'm just like, you have to have a bunch of animations. It's got to look great. It got to look groundbreaking, like all these crazy things. And sometimes that's not what employers want.
Less is more.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else do we have that we released this month?
We so that was content wise. So I want to talk about next is our live career sessions. So on top of posting new content, we're also having live sessions. So our live sessions are just like a 20-minute session with our career advisor, Genevieve, and it includes a 10-minute Q&A. So you can ask her whatever career advice you need if you're applying for help and such. So on February 6th, she did a maximize your treehouse experience where you learn tips and tricks to make the most out of your treehouse learning journey. And on February 20th, she had the power of pitching. There, you are able to discover the art of crafting a compelling pitch because sometimes networking is the best way to get a job. So, having an elevator pitch or like something you're ready to talk about, like to show how great you are, is something you need to have ready, like in the back pocket, ready to pull out whenever. So, those are the two live sessions that happened in February. Sorry if you missed them. We will have live sessions in March, which I'll talk about soon.
So I was just about to ask, are there any ways for people to go back and watch them, or will she just continuously do these and you can catch the next round? How does that work?
I believe she's continuously doing them, but I know for a fact the power of pitching is also talked about in her 5-step career checklist course. So
Okay.
I believe she has a video already about the power of pitching and how to do it. And on top of that, just to emphasize one of the best things about this course, the 5-step career checklist course, which I think we'll try to link it to this podcast, is that once you're done and you actually complete those 5 steps, you can sign up to meet with Genevieve and go over it and get some advice and get even more prepared for like job hunting and applying to places and such.
Cool. So I will definitely be linking the Career Toolbox down in the show notes for anyone that's interested. And just to reiterate, if you do take that course, upon completion, you do have access to getting one-on-one time with Genevieve to ask her questions and get some one-on-one help with her, which I highly, highly recommend anyone that's looking to get a career out of this. This is a great step toward that.
Yeah, and if you even want to go even further, that course is in a track. So there's actually more more courses about career and stuff that Genevieve has put together.
Highly, highly recommend the Career Toolbox. Seriously, it is a game changer.
So the next thing, I kind of want to pass it on to you. You've done some some Twitch streams in February. I don't know if you remember what you've done. I feel like you've streamed so many times.
Yeah, so if anyone has missed any of the streams, don't worry. We actually upload them directly to YouTube afterwards. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/go treehouse. And you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/the Treehouse Show. I do go live every single Thursday at 12 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. And what do I build? Well, it's really up to you guys, whatever you guys want to see me build. And if no one has any ideas, or there's not a lot of people joining the streams, I do have a random project generator that I built myself that will generate a random project idea for me to build, and I'll build that live. And I usually try to build it with something that I'm learning. Like right now, I'm trying to learn React, so a lot of it's been in React. But you guys can also let me know how you want me to build it. If you want to see me build it in vanilla JavaScript, React, or you want to get a little crazy and do Angular Vue and really test me and see me rage quit, we can do all of that. But yeah, head on over to twitch.tv/the Treehouse Show. You can catch all the old streams and you can catch all the new ones. Make sure to subscribe and you'll be notified when we go live. But every Thursday, 12 p.m. CST, you should find me there.
That always impressed me. Like, you do no prep. You just go and build something right there and then, which scares me. Like, one thing I like about this is a behind the scenes, but one thing I like about teaching is I prep everything. I build the project beforehand. I script everything I'm going to say. I make the little animations and I'm just like, okay, so when I record, I just go for it. And I applaud you for being able to just like turn on the camera and be like, all right, let's see what we're building, and just build something within that time frame.
These live streams have actually lasted like 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, etc. It's around that time. So one of the streams that I actually just did was very interesting. The random project generator wanted me to build out a digital clock. I had no idea how I was going to do it, and actually, a few of the people that were watching the stream were like, "Hey, nah, let's generate something different." And we said, "All right, whatever it's going to generate, we're building that one because we can't just keep doing that. It's the whole point of the generator, right? Build what it tells me." So we skipped the digital clock, and instead, the random generator decided to generate a movie searching app. And I've never built one like this before.
Huh.
And I had a couple of people in the chat offer some good ideas for some movie APIs. I forget which one I used, but it was really cool. Never built that before. I struggled a lot. Like I said, I'm learning React, so a lot of it was me learning. But I think within 4 hours, we had a fully functioning app that searched for movies, games, TV series, categorized it all in a really nice little UI. And yeah, we even had a couple of people in the chat tell me exactly how they wanted to style it, and it ended up coming out pretty cool. And also, me being me, I finished the stream and I went back and built the digital clock anyway because I wanted to. And I actually recorded it. It's a quick 3-minute, 100 Days of Code, day 19 video. It's up on our YouTube. It's in ASMR style, so if you like that, it's got some cool little sound effects in there too. It's a fun little video if you want to go check that out as well. All right, so that about covers everything that we've released and everything that we've done in the month of February. So what's coming? What do we have to look forward to in the month of March?
All right, so the first thing to look forward to is the first content we're releasing on March 6th is create a portfolio using Python and Flask. So it's what I was talking about earlier in this podcast. So this time, Brian walks you through how to create a portfolio using Python and Flask, as the title
Who's
says.
Brian?
Brian Jensen, he's the best student success specialist that we got. Don't tell the others. I mean, they're all great.
No, Brian is awesome. If you are in the tech degree, no doubt you have definitely crossed paths with Brian. Brian is awesome. He does so much work for us and the students, and it definitely shows. He loves what he does.
And he's very humble. Like he thinks I'm smarter than him, and I'm like, no.
I literally
no,
would not be who I am today without him. He's top dog, and he is the most modest man I've ever met, for sure.
We here love Brian. Brian's the best.
Oh yeah, Brian for president.
But yeah, so Brian made this workshop so you can follow along with him and create a portfolio using Python and Flask. So right now, that will be our third piece of content that you can watch and build and host. I just want to emphasize at the end, you know how to host your own portfolio website so that you can share it with anyone. You can share it with a coworker, an employer, anyone.
So you start from nothing to fully deployed app, fully deployed portfolio. That's nice. That's
Correct.
some stuff that we've been getting asked for a ton. I'm glad Brian had the time to knock that out for everyone.
Oh yeah, because like, yeah, building an app is great, but also you want a way to show it to people. Like you can't just bring your laptop around and be like, look, you gotta give them a website to go
When you
to.
were just starting, did you ever try to show someone your work and you tried to send them the localhost link? I've done it so many times.
No, what's more sad, or not sad, is like I tried to show my parents and like, look what I did. And they're like, okay. And I'm just like, they don't get it because they don't program. But I'm like, this was really hard to do. They're like,
Exactly.
but my app can do this. And I'm like, okay, mom, thanks.
I remember when I first started, I built this little app and you clicked the button and something popped up and I was so excited about it. I wanted to show my brother. He's big into tech, so I thought I was
Mhm.
going to impress him. And I'm like, "Hey man," I told him about what I built and he's like, "Dude, I'm excited to see it. Let me see it." So I sent him over my link and I didn't know, right? I just sent him localhost port whatever 5000
Yeah.
and he's like, "You're joking, right?" I'm like, "No. Do you not see it?" I'm like, "You did not just send me your localhost." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I'm sorry." So yeah, that was fun. But I'm sure everyone has done that when they first started. But at
Yeah.
least in this workshop, Ryan's going to show you how to deploy it so you can show all your friends and family and you won't be like me. Don't be like
Yeah.
me. Don't
Well,
show
not
anyone the local host link.
exactly. Don't be a Dustin.
Don't be a
But
Dustin.
not just this portfolio one. All our 3 portfolios tell you how to host it. Like they either link somewhere else or walk you through it right there in that workshop.
I was just about to ask you if the other portfolios did that as well or if it was
Yep,
just
yep.
building. So cool. From nothing to deploying. That's awesome. It's another thing you guys have been requesting. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Yes, they will. I don't hope, but I know they will enjoy this. I don't make stuff, or I guess I don't manage stuff that isn't going to be great. I'm joking.
For sure. Cut
So
that out.
then, good.
All right, so that's awesome. I'm glad we're releasing that. What else do we have? Do we have any AI content or is AI dead?
No, I know the hype is slowing down, but we are posting some more AI stuff because, as you know, ChatGPT came out. Then we heard Google Bard. Then we heard Bing and Cloud and
And there's
Claude.
Gem now and there's so much stuff. There's so much AI stuff.
Exactly. So on March 20th, we're releasing a video called AI Chatbot Comparison because there's so many out there. Like I just said, there's Google Bard, there's Bing, Claude, ChatGPT, bunch of others. So our producer and content creator Dan, he is comparing the 4 major LLM platforms. So he's taking a look into the fundamental concepts, their capabilities, even their limitations for each of them. This course will give you like a brief introduction to each of these platforms, then jump right into comparison where he tests them on like creative writing, which is the best for creative writing, summarizing documents, coding, computer vision capabilities, and also talk about like their unique strengths that they each offer because they're not all the same. Yeah, you can just use one of them, but why not see which one is best for what you're looking for?
I really like this. This is something that I was hoping that we would release pretty soon, so I'm glad it's finally happening. There's so many different like AI platforms out there, and yeah, you do like you said, you get used to one and you just kind of use it, and that's kind of what I've done with ChatGPT and Copilot. But I'm interested to see what else is out there and how they work, and I think this video will be very good in trying to figure that out. It'll give us a little bit of insight what else is out there.
I'm in the same boat as you. I feel like an old person who's just like, ChatGPT works. Why look away? Why look somewhere else?
Right.
Um, I don't know if that's an old thing to do or just being a loyalist. I'm just like, all right, cool. This
Same here.
does what it needs to do. I'm happy
Same
with it.
here.
But yeah, that is all our content. Next up, I want to talk about is live sessions. Yeah, it was good to know what happened in February, but I want to let you guys know what's happening in March for our live career session so you guys can sign up and be able to actually watch and attend. And I also want to plug myself because the first live session is March 5th, which is called Women in Tech with Laura Cornell. So me, haha.
Oh, I didn't
Yes,
even know about this. What is
yeah.
this?
So come join us in celebrating and exploring the contribution of women in tech industry. So Genevieve is going to interview me, ask me some questions. I'll provide my feedback. And if you ever want to do a Q&A or ask me anything, I will be in that live session. You will have 10 minutes to ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Everyone join and ask Laura all the questions. Ask her anything that you possibly need to ask.
Ask me all the hard questions. So come join me on this live career session. I'll have Dustin put a link in the show notes for how you can join or sign up for it. I think Genevieve usually always posts the link in our Discord servers and Slack community if you're a tech degree student. That is not our only live career session. On March 19th, Genevieve is hosting the 5 most important networking skills. So build a powerful professional network with key skills that can open doors to new opportunities.
And again, if you want to join any of these live sessions with Genevieve or even the Women in Tech with Genevieve and Laura, the link will be down in the show notes. So make sure to check that out.
And eventually, we are working on creating a new page on our site called...
A new page.
Yeah, a new page. It's going to be teamtreehouse.com/events. So here is where you'll be able to see all our events. So all our live career sessions, even see when Dustin will be streaming on Twitch. And the best part of this is like, not only does it show you our schedule, but also the links would be there to just join and sign up right there and then, all in one place. So that page is actually coming in March.
Cool. So our live events page is actually going to be coming out in March as well, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. So you're going to be able to find out exactly when we go live, when I go live on my live streams, when Genevieve does her career session, as well as what Laura mentioned with the Women in Tech live event as well.
I don't know if you want to talk Twitch because you can't really predict what you're doing in March.
No, I can't, but I will be able to tell you that I am still going to be streaming every Thursday in March at 12 CST, Central Standard Time. As of right now, I have no clue what I'm going to build. So you guys, it's up to you. Hop in Discord. Let me know what you want to see me build. Make it hard. I will figure it out all live. You'll see how I troubleshoot, how I Google, how I use AI to help me out. But if no one pops in Discord, which would be very sad, please pop in Discord and let me know. But if not, we will randomly generate something from the generator and build it live. But if you want to come see me break some code, every Thursday, twitch.tv/The Treehouse Show.
Yeah. One thing I love about your streams is seeing someone else code. Because the first time I attended one of your streams, I was just like, why is he doing it that way? I wouldn't do it. I held back. I did not comment things, but it ended up working out. Like, I was just like, oh, I see where he's going there. Okay, I get it. But yeah, that's my favorite part about your streams, just seeing how someone else would code something. I already get an idea when I see the thing come up and I'm like, okay, I'll probably do this, something like this. And I see you coding and I'm just like, oh, I never thought of that. Or I wouldn't have thought of doing it that way.
I will say too, like, I don't know React very well. Like I'm learning it. I'm really late to the React game. I actually used Angular professionally in my last job. So I'm just finally getting to React. It's very different. I really enjoy it. But what's really cool is you literally watch me on stream learn how to do certain things, because I will always try to do best practice. So I'm not going to, hack my way around and get things done. I already learned how bad prop drilling is. So I'm figuring that out. But in one of my earlier streams last week, I did have an interesting bug where I could not get some data returned to me because the state wasn't updated yet, and I could not figure out how to do it. I actually did find a little hacky solution that worked for the time being, but I bookmarked your one of your courses, Laura, where you actually go into detail about how to access state when it updates in weird ways like that. Rohald actually plugged it, so I'm going to take a look at that. But yeah, my streams are really fun. Yeah, you get to watch me learn. And if you're struggling with React and trying to learn it too, I think you could get some good value out of it.
I think what he plugged you was an animation I made, which I'm really proud of that animation. It's just like how state actually updates. Because I did that animation 4 times because every time I read the React docs, because like every time I read the React docs, I understood it a different way. And I'm just like, oh, that's how state updates. And then another page would be like, no, this is how state updates. And then I'm just like, I read this so many times and I finally understood it, got it broken down into a fun little animation because I love learning by visual. So I'm really proud of that.
I'm definitely going to take a look at that so that I can understand state a little bit better. I will say for me, learning is different than it used to be. I used to learn very well from visual videos and reading things. And lately I've found that the best way to learn is to literally just go in and try to build something. And when you fail, use AI to kind of help you. Like I use Copilot sometimes, not for completions, but like I'll use Copilot chat. You're like, hey, why is my data not returning to me? And it doesn't just give me the answer, it kind of explains it too. So I've really found that learning React for me has been best just turning on the camera, getting super vulnerable with everyone and just learning. And if I mess up, I mess up. I got a cool community kind of hanging out with me in the chat that usually help me. One day they won't, I'm sure. It'll be just me in there and it'll be very embarrassing, but hey, this is how you learn.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. That's one thing I really liked about the tech degree was the projects because I learned by trial and error. I try something, didn't work. I try to figure out why it didn't work. And then I'm like, okay, let's figure out something else. Like Unit 10, that project took me a while. And also the React one on Unit 7, because I was just like, why?
In full stack JavaScript tech degree?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
full stack JavaScript tech degree. I was just
I'm
like,
actually taking it right now, finally.
hey, so you're going to see
Yeah.
my face.
Yep. Here pretty soon.
Yeah, so talking about React, we are updating our React track. So I don't know if everyone knows, but I was basically hired to update all of the React content. And since they're updated, I have updated the React track. So not only are you learning the most recent up to date React version, I also added some React AI content. I refreshed one of the steps. Oh, I also added Rohal's creating a portfolio into that track so that you can take the track, learn React, and come out with a portfolio using React.
Wow. Learn a full portfolio from just a track. That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah. So we are revamping our React track. So keep an eye out of that in March. I don't know when that'll be published. I think I want to say the beginning of March, but yeah, our React track is all up to date. So if you already know coding, you already know JavaScript, you can take our Learn React track instead of taking a tech degree or learning JavaScript and everything on your own. Because I recommend learning JavaScript before learning React if you don't
And
know
I just want to
JavaScript.
do a quick shout out to the community in Discord. Seriously, you guys are amazing. If you want to see new content from us on the platform, just let us know what you want to see. You want to see some React stuff? We'll do it. You want to see some Python stuff? We'll do it. We'll make it happen. So come hang out in Discord. Link will be down in the show notes. Come talk to us. Come let us know what kind of stuff you want. We'll make it happen.
We love to hear everyone's ideas, what they want. That's how we know what to make. We want to make what things that you guys are interested in. We don't want to just
Except
make random
Java.
stuff.
I'm going to cut that.
Oh
No,
God.
no shade to Java. We love Java
We love
script.
all programming languages.
No, we'll do whatever you guys want to see us do. So come hang out in Discord. It's a lot of fun. We always hang out in there. You'll see some memes, some jokes, some pets, some desk setups, a lot of cool interaction with other people. The Discord server has been growing quite a bit lately. We got a lot of people in there, a lot of active users. I usually post a lot of my funny videos in here. We got a lot of people playing in the 100 Days of Code channel talking about their builds. I know Travis is building a game right now, and it's actually really, really cool. So yeah, you guys
I
need
know
to, if you're not in the Discord server, you guys got to come hang out. Seriously, you're missing out.
like he downplays it. He's like, "Oh, this is just for a 3-year-old who doesn't play video games." But I'm like, I'm watching his video and I'm like, I want to play this video game. This
Right?
video game looks
Dude's
fun.
so talented. I want to be able to build games like that.
Me too.
Also, shout out to our guest instructor, Richard Bray. He actually just released a couple of courses if you're interested. One is game development with Phaser. I think you build like 2 games.
Yeah. You build that brick breaker game where you have the paddle and the ball breaks the bricks. Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
knows
I
that
love that
game.
game.
And also a platformer. So if you want to build
Nice.
your own platformer, you can follow along and you come out with a platformer. He also tells you how to host your games so people can play.
Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about that course. Haven't taken it yet. I'm not super big into game development, but I do want to at some point when I'm finally not busy in 90 years. But, I'll eventually get to that because I heard it's amazing. But another really good course, I'm going to shout him out again, is his TypeScript course that he just released for us.
Because that is one reason why my husband does not like JavaScript. He's just like, he's used to Swift. And Swift, you have to be like, all right, this
Built-in types.
variable is a type. Yeah. He's all about
Yeah.
types.
I've heard so many people, hate on TypeScript because it's so seemingly hard to learn or it's like another layer on top of it. But every single one of them, once they've learned it, they're like, Oh wow, I'll never want to go back. I don't know why it took me this long to learn it. It's a game changer.
I
People
hear that
really,
with
really love it.
Tailwind.
Oh, I'm the same way. I didn't know what Tailwind was about a month ago. Now I swear by it. Like I've always known what Tailwind was, but I just didn't want to clutter my markup with it.
That's
And
exactly how I feel.
yeah, it's like all the videos that I try to make, they're fun to watch, but once you get to the CSS, it's like no one wants to watch me write CSS for 30 minutes, right? Now, if I just do it with some Tailwind classes, it speeds up my videos and people just tend to like those better. And it's the same thing. I do want to preface this. Anyone who wants to learn Tailwind, please learn CSS first. Understand CSS. Please, please, please. I know lots of people hate CSS. I might be the one person on the planet that's just in love with it, but please learn the foundations of
That's
CSS
probably
first.
where I went wrong.
Yeah, don't jump straight into Tailwind because CSS is hard, or it's just you're just asking for trouble. I'm just a
I need
pixel
to.
perfect type of person. I'm OCD when it comes to things, so I when I learned CSS, I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn everything I can about this, and I got very obsessed for a while. But yeah, I'm very happy that I have a super good understanding of CSS now that I'm finally dabbling into Tailwind. I can really respect Tailwind for what it is. Do I think it's good for every use case? Absolutely not. But it is a game changer for trying to speed up workflows and trying to get some quick videos out there for you guys. It's a good
I
way to
don't
do it.
I don't think there's anything that has a perfect use case for everything.
Oh
So
no,
makes
no.
sense.
There's pros and cons for everything, especially in web development. All right. Is there anything else we're releasing, or is that everything that we have to offer for the month of March?
That is everything so far. If anything pops up, we can add it in the show notes, but that's all I got to offer.
Sweet. Like that. Before we end out this show, I didn't tell you I was gonna do this, but I got a hot take for you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right, I don't have a hot take, so I got to think about this real quick.
You gotta keep that in. Oh my god. Console.log or debug mode?
What is debug mode?
You never use debug mode? Like, I see you guys talking on Discord about console.log this, console.log that, and I'm like, I use the debug mode on VS Code. I turn on debug and I put a breaker and my code stops there. So because I know that's where all the hiccups happening.
I feel like that's too involved. It's
That
too involved. My hot take turned into you telling me that I should be using debug mode instead of console.log. I do want to shout out, let's see, somebody in the Discord channel actually said something earlier that I thought was really cool about console.log. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so he says, came across this random tip on LinkedIn for anyone who makes a million console.logs like himself. I can relate to. I console.log absolutely everything. At the top of the program, write, and it looks like he's just creating a function called L and he's passing log as the parameter. And then the function just consoles.log log. So he can just call L anywhere in his program and pass what he wants to log. And it's just a lot less keyboard clicking. Yeah, I think I might actually give that a try. Seems kind of cool.
Yeah, or you can click the bug. Have you seen the bug in VS Code when you see open up VS Codes on the
All
left? There's
right,
a
guys, that's
bug.
the it for the show today. No, I'm kidding. No, well, I've seen the debug mode in VS Code. I just haven't used it. I don't understand it too much. But
Oh,
to
I
be fair,
love
I've never
debug
given it
mode.
any of my attention.
I think that's more how my brain runs. You can put a breakpoint and it tells you all the values for all the variables right there and then at that breakpoint. So you don't have to console.log.
Yeah, I believe Gil has a course on using the debugger, and it was one of those courses where I'm like, this is cool. I'm still gonna console.log everything. But maybe I should go back and watch it. We'll link that down in the show notes for anyone who also wants to see
I think there's
how
just
the
two
debugger
different
works.
types. Yeah, I think there's just two different types of people who debug. Or the
And there's
debug
people
mode.
that console.log. Yeah, there's two types of developers out there. I'm for sure thinking everyone uses a dark mode theme. But at my first job, when I got to the floor with all the developers,
Mhm.
I'm not going to get into it, but I worked on a different floor from the developers. But when I would go up there and talk to them, they would all have light themes on their editors. I'm just like, why is this happening? And then when I would share my screen in meetings, I would have
Mhm.
dark mode. And they're like, I can't see anything that you're showing.
Oh
So I don't know.
gosh.
They were older. Maybe it's just how they learned. But yeah. All right, so that's the show for today. We gave you kind of a look into the future, what's coming in March, and a little bit of a wrap up of February. We have tons of new stuff coming out, tons of stuff that's come out, so make sure to give those a check. Also, as we mentioned, we'll put a lot of the things that we discussed in the episode down in the show notes below. And with that, I'm Dustin, and
I'm Laura. And if he forgets to put a link, you can yell at Dustin on Discord.
yeah, we'll also put the link in the show notes for Discord. I promise at least that link will be there. But we'll see you guys next week. We're going to have another episode here coming Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. Until then, have fun and happy coding.
Talk to you later. Bye.
So that wraps up the Treehouse Show podcast for today, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. What would you like to hear us talk about next? Be sure to join our community Discord server and let us know. Worth noting, if you want to give us a shot and learn a code, we've taught over 1.2 million developers and counting. You can set yourself up with a 7-day free trial just by heading on over to teamtreehouse.com. Until next time, have fun and happy coding.